Listen up.
You are now listening to Inside the Nation Radio, brought to you by us, bringing you everything from current events to what's really happening in your bedroom. Turn up the volume.
Turn me up.
And let's discuss.
We are back once again inside the Nation Radio. I'm your host, Abiyah Israel, with my co-hosts, four of them, Rick, Darash, Tasha, Tiara. Man, we got something to talk about today. This thing is getting crazy. The world is actually crazy. But you know what? We ain't even going to hesitate. We're going to jump right in it. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all seen it in the news. Darash, you heard about this, right? Griner. What's her name? Brittney Griner.
Brittney Griner. Yeah,
Griner.
They
Okay.
finally let her come home. Now, here's the crazy part because Donald Trump, he's not allowed on Twitter, but
Wait, I thought they reinstated his account.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
I'm sorry, Elon did let him come back. Well, he wasn't on Twitter when he said this. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You guys are absolutely right. But Donald Trump has something to say about this, right? So it says Donald Trump shares his thoughts on the Brittney Griner prisoner swap. What a stupid and unpatriotic embarrassment for the USA, right? So he posts and says, what kind of deal is it to swap Brittney Griner, a basketball player who openly hates our country, for the man known as the Merchant of Death, who is one of the biggest arms dealers anywhere in the world and responsible for tens of thousands of deaths and horrific injuries? Why wasn't former Marine Paul Whelan included in this totally one-sided transaction? He would have been let out for asking. What a stupid and unpatriotic embarrassment. That's Donald Trump's thoughts on this.
Well, I mean, I guess he should tell us how he really feels. I mean, I guess he's not going to tell us what he's really thinking or how he really feels. So, whatever he said. Go ahead, Rick.
Now, I was just going to say, Donald Trump reminded me of the mother on Jack and the Beanstalk. It was like, man, you done traded this for these magic beans? Man, throw that stuff out the window. What's wrong with you, man? You crazy.
See, the difference is Jack actually, the beans was worth it, though. It's a little different. It's a little different. I'm just saying.
Beans has some value to him. What you think about this? What you think about it, Tasha?
For the trade, I know a lot of people are upset. Some people on Twitter have mentioned that, it's because of her skin color.
Wait, hold on. Stop. So, Tiara, you affected. Wait, she's that way. Tasha, she's never talked about Twitter before ever until she met Tiara. And oh God, now she got the Twitter disease.
I seen her retweet my tweet yesterday.
Streets.
Oh my God.
I said, look at Tasha. I'm learning the system.
Now we talking about. Go ahead, Tasha. Oh my God.
So
Twitter drugs.
They had a lot to say. A lot of it was like, Brittney Griner is going to trade her fame as a Russian inmate to go back to being an obscure basketball player, was one thing I heard. One lady was like, I'm not a racist, but it's all about her skin color. Because blacks are in right now is essentially what this person was saying.
Yeah.
So, and then other people were saying, well, maybe now after she ended up kneeling, she'll respect America because America brought her back.
Wait, did they actually say blacks are in? Like we're in
so many words.
We're in style now. Listen. It only took 500 years, so okay, we finally in style. Go ahead.
It's fashionable, but what people don't understand about the trade is that what stalled the negotiations is they did try and get both of them back, but Russia was unwilling to budge because Russia said, "We want a Russian spy for your American spy," because that's what Paul Whelan is accused of, is being a spy.
Mm-hmm.
They say, he's a businessman. He's not a spy. They don't care. Russia's like, look, that's the charges we got. We want one of our spies back.
Isn't he former military? Isn't he like former Marine?
He's a
Marine. So
He's a Marine.
As a Marine and you go and get caught in one of those countries that don't play that over there, yeah, they're going to think you a spy. Remember, I think there were some hikers. They were hiking up along the North Korean border. And I don't know, maybe they tripped their stomach. They fell on the other side. Well, they went to prison. Don't fall.
And would America really
borders.
be honest and be like, yeah, that's one of our spies? Like, I wouldn't expect them to tell the truth about it anyway.
Either.
Of course,
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
well, wait, Tiara, why would you not expect? Listen, why would you not expect America to tell the truth? Like, what would you? The gall of you, like the audacity? Why would you not?
Because when does America ever tell the truth?
I'm just saying, they always tell the truth.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy today because does Trump not have a point?
It's 2022.
And I'm not
You can be that guy if you want to. Go ahead.
Yes, he does.
Okay, I'm going to identify as that guy for right this second.
Go ahead.
Is there not a point, like they said that Victor about, he supplied arms to Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, rebels in Rwanda. So he's like a full-blown terrorist. So is it wrong for people to be like, wait, y'all traded a terrorist who has aided in killing a million American civilians for a WNBA player? Like, I understand we like to be like, oh, it's because she's Black. But at the same time, we're talking about a full-blown terrorist here that is now going to be allowed to be free for a basketball player. Like, are we really going to pretend like he's not making sense?
I am posting this on Twitter so they can drag you.
This is the beauty of feminism now.
It is a movie based off of him. It was a movie back in like 2005, starring Nicolas Cage, and it was called Lord of War. Like, we're talking about somebody.
Oh, that's based off this guy?
Yeah, that's the character based off of him.
Whoa. So we done basically traded Steve Kerr for Kevin Garnett back in the 90s. That's what we did.
I don't speak
Just
basketball, but
trade.
let's go with that.
Yeah. But KG, $1 million man, he was the big ticket, and we just traded for just hey, let's get this situational shooter in the game. You know what I'm saying? We traded nothing for something. Hey, I mean, who? But all in the name of feminism. You know what I'm saying? We gotta protect the Black woman. But no, man, I quit.
The highest profile Russian. They said the highest profile Russian that we had in custody, like it didn't get no higher than him. We let him go.
And then now they want to spy.
But listen. Now let me tell you why I think they let him go for Griner, right? I don't follow, but for Brittney Griner. Now you may say, okay, well, they're trading her for a spy, and Trump says, why did Biden make this trade? Let's be honest. Because of the little hat situation, the people that wear the little hats, let's remember this now. The people that wear the little hats that control everything, although they say they control nothing, but why saying they control nothing, actually control everything. Y'all know who I'm talking about? The little hat people?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's a big situation where they came out to attack certain quote unquote African American people, two of them, Kanye, Kyrie, but yet this is the first time we've ever seen the Black community kind of stand up a little bit, just a little bit. We kind of stood up. Now we got to get these. We're not expecting this. They never do this. They never stand up for one another. They're standing up for one. Elections are going to be coming up here shortly. We can't lose that Black vote. We got to do something to get them back on our side. We got a Black prison in Russia that been trying to get out for a long time. What if we go get them? Now, me as Mr. Biden president, hey, I'm gonna make the trade with Griner over here in Russia. I'm gonna get her, and then you call up Ja Morant. I could be wrong by this, but you call up Ja Morant and get him a big time Nike deal, and that's gonna kind of exit out the thing with Kyrie, because people want to boycott because of Kyrie. But yeah, we just gave another Nike contract. Now the question that comes up. Are you going to really boycott Nike? Are you still going to be mad at them for the situation that's going on? Because they've just given you another Black face on Nike, and they also have just gone and gotten this Black athlete out of a Russian prison. You going to vote? I think it's all political.
Yeah. They playing chess, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they said she was a pawn. She was a pawn. She was a political pawn.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead. If these things don't happen with Kyrie Kanye, I guarantee she still sits in a Russian jail.
I don't doubt it. And then the crazy part is this, right? Because a lot of people, I'm telling you, I'm going to clip this and I'm putting this on Twitter. But but I'm going to put I agree, right? I'm going to put I agree, right? So they'll drag us both, but they're really going to drag you. They're going to drag you.
Get dragged together.
For some reason, they like dragging Tierra. She goes through them Twitter wars like crazy. They
love dragging Tierra. Jesus, it's crazy, right? But now here's the thing, right? I want to read something from, where is this from? Yahoo Sports. It says, in Russia, cannabis is illegal. An individual possessing, this part is from Google. This first part is from Google. The second part will be from Yahoo Sports. In Russia, cannabis is illegal. An individual possessing less than 6 grams of cannabis or 2 grams of hash can be fined or jailed up to 15 days. Possessing any more than that becomes a more serious criminal offense. Ms. Griner, this is from Yahoo Sports, Ms. Griner was accused of having less than a gram, being sufficiently aware that the movement of narcotic drugs is not allowed no later than February 17, 2022, at an unspecified location under unspecified circumstances from an unidentified person, Ms. Griner, bought 2 cartridges for personal use, which contain 0.252 grams and 0.45, totaling 0.702, the prosecutor said during the trial. TASS reports, right? So the thing was this: in Russia, weed, any type of weed, because she had hash and hash oil, right? And so essentially that's the strongest part of the marijuana. That's the part that contains the majority THC. So weed is illegal under any circumstances in Russia, and you know this. And so you had to suffer the consequences. Now, some may say that it's too harsh, but again, that's their laws. That's their
Russia.
rules. But watch this, because we have another situation that's kind of brewing. I believe it's in Bali. I'll go double check it in a moment, but I believe it's in Bali where they've just banned same-sex marriage, and you can go to jail if you are caught in a same-sex marriage. And a lot of people are upset about that. But again, that's their laws. They're in an area where their culture allows and practices certain things, so they pass certain laws. People are like, oh, that's too extreme. You can't tell them that. That is their laws. You either abide or you don't come. But if you come and you break these laws, same thing in America. If you come and you break the laws, you got to suffer the penalty. That's what it is.
But since when has traditional values? Yeah. And then when has traditional values become wrong? Why is that synonymous with being biased? Because I say I want to continue with the traditional morals and standards that my grandparents taught my parents, and my parents then passed along to me. Why is that now bad?
Because the world is going to dictate to you what you should think and how you should move and react to situations. Now, with this whole, let's use the Constitution, for example. You have a freedom to religion, according to the First Amendment, right? But yet, if you come and say, hey, you have to respect how I feel. I was born a woman, but I'm going to identify as a man, and you need to respect that and treat me as such. But yet my First Amendment right is to be able to practice my religion, and my religion tells me that I do not identify or address you as such. Now it goes to the point of, well, now you're being a bigot, or now you're not. Now, so these situations start to play. Now you're stepping on my rights. So it's like we have to give up our rights to make you feel good. When do we stop and say, wait, you're offending us? But the world has twisted it around and made it as if we're offending them. Remember, Hitler, tell a lie loud enough and long enough. Guess what? The people, the world will believe it. Just the way it is.
Is it freedom of religion or is it freedom of confusion? Like, hey, we have the freedom to be confused as hell. Like, hey, yeah, you can't be this way. You can't practice your religion. But hold on, wait, you can't offend these people either. So it's like we got to choose what we want to do. And that's why everybody's going back and forth with everything.
For example, the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Everybody knows that Qatar is like no homosexual, none of that. You're not doing that here. Everybody understands that. But then you still had Americans go over there trying to go in their pride hoodies and they pride house, and they were getting kicked out. But then they were mad because they got kicked out. But you went into these people's home and disrespected their culture and their beliefs and their rules. How dare you feel entitled when you get what you was asking for?
America is the land of entitlement. What do you expect? we literally live in a place right now that took over the majority of another country, and a majority of those inhabitants are still here. For example, right? When people in Texas and Arizona and New Mexico speak Spanish, people are like, this is America. You need to learn to speak English. And it's like, this was Mexico first. And once you guys pushed our borders down, but we didn't all leave. So you can't be mad at us for speaking Spanish when this was all Mexico. Like we are the land of entitlement. That's just the truth.
That's what it is. I mean, and we need to actually start, I say, in my opinion, start passing laws like other countries. Like, I don't know the country that you said, Bali, I think it was, but Indonesia.
It's Indonesia.
Okay, well, they passed a law where you can't have sex outside of marriage. Like, these are, and I was talking to Tasha about this. I said, think about that. If you pass a law that you can't have sex outside of marriage, guess what else goes down? The crime rate. She was like, how does the crime rate go down? It's directly connected. Why? Because when you don't have a country full of women who have children with no father figures and no one to guide these children, the man must be in the home. The man must be there. You must be married to this woman before you. Guess what? More of a chance now. You have more of a chance that this man is going to be a part of this child's life and direct this child. So I think that if America starts passing these type of laws, then we will see a better day. We will see a change. But guess what? It's never coming. It's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
It's against the newest agenda, because even now where they're starting to indoctrinate the kids at 5, 6, 7 years old to say homosexuality and fluidity with your sexual preference is now okay and it's acceptable, even to the point where they're now putting that stuff into cartoons.
Right.
It's kind of like they're getting rid of the traditional family altogether.
Oh, it's the traditional family is the enemy, and it's going to become more of the enemy as we go. But we have reached the end of our first segment. We're going to the next segment. You guys, if you haven't done so, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All right, segment number 2. The church pastor who wants to sell, guess what? Some weed in church.
Hey, we got his first congregant is going to be Brittney Griner. Because, we already know she got some weed.
She's coming home. So she may, you're joking, but it might really happen, right? She may be right there at Pastor Jamal Bryant's church, who states he wants to sell weed because guess what? All the men, what do they do? Weed. So we have the biggest black church with the most land. Well, actually said the black church with the most land. So therefore they can come in and they can start producing marijuana. And then not only are they getting the men off the street, they're teaching them how to farm as well. So they're going to teach them how to grow it too. I mean, listen, if it was anybody else, I say, okay, it's a business move. It's a plan. But you a pastor, man. You supposed to be inside the church. You're supposed to be, come on. Tasha, you feeling me here?
Ethical. And I get if he wanted to teach them agriculture, because I'm not against the fact that he's saying, okay, we should teach our people.
Culture.
But we should teach our people how to farm vegetables. Things they can take home, produce that your congregation can use when they fall on hard times.
But wait, really quickly.
That's what you grow.
The reason he's saying he's going to grow weed, some marijuana, is because it's going to, now Darash, you help me out with this. It's going to pull the men in off the street. But now listen, don't the Bible say don't conform to the world? Is that not what he's doing as a pastor? How can you? Here's the thing. You have a book that you say you follow, that you say you believe in, but we never actually see you follow. We always see you do the opposite of what the book say, right?
That's absolutely true. The issue is this, right? We have many of these conversations, and what happens is a lot of people who say that they believe in the book don't really believe in the book. They believe in what they heard about the book, right? Yep. So just like you said, we're not supposed to be conforming to the world, but at the same time, this is so much easier because let's be honest, it's not like he's just growing it to grow it. Because in Atlantic Black Star, it references a point in the article that talks about, I'm helping these men learn to farm and I'm helping build an ecosystem. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he said an ecosystem.
If you're farming for cannabis, you're gonna do one of two things. You're gonna use it all, or you're going to sell it.
Both. Because he said he likes boys that smell like weed or young men.
Yeah, he said, I'm
weed.
looking for people that smell like weed.
Wait, what? I missed that part.
He said he's going to stand at the front of the church and he's going to do a sniff test every time people come in.
He ain't say that. But to be, he did. Look, I would not have worded it that way, but yes, that's what he said. But let's be honest. It's very lucrative. Cannabis is very lucrative, right? Like people have literally come out here from Australia, New Zealand, even just the East Coast alone, Britain. I ran into a person from Britain the other day, and he said, "Man, I came out here because I heard the weed was strong, bruv."
That's what Snoop Dogg tell everybody, bro. That's what.
And he said, he said, when I'm in the UK. And the best thing, I forgot what he called it. The best thing we have is such and such. He said, but this stuff out here, bruv, is, oh my God. He
all
said,
the way from the UK.
All the way from the UK.
And they don't tell him what they're putting in that stuff either.
But
Was he talking to Cat Williams though? This right here,
it's called death.
My thing is, how do you have that much land and it never occurred to you to grow food for the community? But I guess he said, why grow lettuce when I can grow the devil's lettuce?
So
My thing is, you just
But people argued that too. They said, why don't you grow food? You can also help
Right.
the people when you can teach them to farm and you can
Exactly.
help people
because
who
that's
are
not going to
hungry.
attract the black boys and the black men that he's quote unquote looking for. Because if he be
Right.
like, I'm growing carrots, that's not going to get him to the
Right.
church.
So
I-
really,
cabbage
let me ask y'all
and
this: is it really about getting the black men in church? Now, I
I
can't
don't
remember if
think
he
so.
actually said. I can't remember if he actually said black men. I think he said men, right? But even
black
either
boy.
way, he said black men. And okay, either way, is it really about attracting them or attracting them so we can get their money?
It's all
more
about
members, more
I was
And
gonna
their
say,
labor.
you can even go
because
further
he
than
wants
that.
them to work it. Go ahead, Rick.
You can
Sorry.
get the no, you good. I was gonna say, well, you can get the men in, you get those black men in, you get those dope boys, and you get more of those in, and you get all those women that's gonna be chasing them because we know a lot of them have plenty of women in their phones that they knocking off, and that's
I didn't
more
think about
money
that.
to bring in. To
Not
me, it's
knocking off.
a genius plan if you just trying to get paid. I'll be honest with you.
So
Yeah,
do you
back
set
then,
up
right?
do you set up a system where you do bring in the dope boys off the street and you got a system where it's legal now, we can sell weed, and then you kind of like monetize this whole thing, like you let the dope boys sell the weed for you. So do you set up now are we setting up entire drug organizations inside of the Christian church?
That's what it
A
sounds like. It's about to
syndicate,
be.
a whole syndicate up in
My
that
thing-
thing.
How does he plan on making it legal? Because they said that it's illegal in Georgia. How is he doing that?
Well, I
thought he
mean,
was- I thought he's been in Baltimore.
yeah, he's not
No,
from
no, no.
Georgia.
In Atlanta.
Mm.
Is he from Atlanta? Because I thought he's from Baltimore as
In
well.
Atlanta. I thought it
Yeah.
said he's in Atlanta. The church is located in Atlanta,
Yeah, the
Georgia.
church
That's
is
what I
in
read
Atlanta.
also.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But he
So it's not
didn't.
even
Now,
legal.
wait. He never said it was going to be at the church. He just says the church
That's
owns
true.
the land. The land could be somewhere else. He can sell it over there.
Oh, because I thought it said it was the largest land owning black church in America. So I'm thinking you're going to use the land that the church is on to
That's
grow the
adjacent
weed.
to the church.
No, I think he
Yeah.
means that the church just owns a lot of land all over America. So in those states that it's legal in, guess what? Hey, call you, set you a good. Hey, got a dope boy out there in Cali. Hey, where my money? So this is what the church is now doing, right? This is what they're doing. Darash,
Ooh.
you have experience this in church?
No, I don't. First of all, listen here. I'll go to church. We'll do that on this side.
Yeah, do that on the
Because,
side.
just like and it's crazy because people feel a way about this. They say that the new generation is kind of it's the same thing, but it's kind of transitioning over. People have said that the younger community, the younger African American communities are removing themselves from the church, and the reason
Yeah.
being is because they feel like it's a sham, it's a scam. Everyone's a hypocrite, and it seems like everyone's
Mhm.
only after money.
Mhm.
And so a lot of us are leaving now. And when you see stuff like this happen, it validates that thought.
Exactly.
It
Well, I mean,
honestly
it's
does.
simple. If you're telling me that God told you that you need how much was that jet Creflo got? 55 million?
Oh, wow.
55.
and-
No, it wasn't Creflo. Was it Creflo?
Yeah, Creflo.
Yeah, it was Creflo.
Creflo.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Creflo had
the
the
old funny looking
He
white
got
guy.
a jet.
No, see the fact that you even thought it was the other guy, it's them too. I'm just talking about Creflo.
Okay.
Creflo's jet, and I may be mistaken by it, but I know it's 55 something. I believe it was 55 million. God told me to tell you guys I need 55 million. Guess what? I think Creflo got 2 or 3 jets. Now,
Oh, 60 million.
60 million?
In
Okay.
donations.
$60 million
60 million.
in donations.
Now, check this out now. So he has those jets, and he has more than one jet now. When like you just said, Darash, when our young people start looking at these pastors flying all over the world in these jets, but yet mama is still riding the bus, and mama keep giving her money to this pastor. Mama believes that she's going to be blessed. You know what type of devil and what type of awesome? You got to be bad and good at the same time. You have to be a devil to tell somebody this, but you have to be a really awesome salesman to sell someone a blessing they can only receive after they're dead.
They're motivational
Right.
speakers.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
You're going to be
Joel
dead when you get
Osteen.
this. I'm going to get mine today, but you're going to get yours when you die. And people believe it.
Mhm.
Well, who said Joel
But
Osteen?
that's what I was saying. Joel seen how he has all that money, but when the flood happened and he closed them doors and he came
Oh,
under a whole
yeah.
bunch of fire because he wouldn't open the doors to the people who were suffering. These are the
Right.
same people that you got your money from.
Right.
They
You
tell
know,
on
it's about pretty
themselves.
church.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know, with Joel Osteen, a lot of people came to his defense. I was in the back and forth with African American, so quote unquote so-called African American man. I was in the back and forth with him, and he was like, "No, I actually went out to the church and yada," and he was lying. And it came out that he was really lying. Like, why would you go to bat so hard for this man when you would even go to the point of lying? Because we have the videos. They're showing all the videos. The church is not flooded. The people are not there. They're not letting people in. You went as far as to lie in order to defend. And that's what we do to defend.
It's brainwashing. Brainwashing.
And the church, it's hard for the younger generation to respect leadership in the church when you see them doing so much wrong.
Right.
Because as children, when you're in the church and you were a child, that whole saying, you keep your mouth closed, it don't mean our eyes are closed. We can still see, and our ears are still open. We can hear. So we see the pastor sleeping with the young girls with the short skirts on. We see the money that's being taken, and Bentleys are being brought, and homes are being brought. We see all of those immoral things that are happening within the church. And then it becomes, well, you're preaching this to me, but then you're showing me worldly things. You're preaching me the Bible. You're showing me worldly things. There is hypocrisy and confusion within the church.
It is.
It is no longer a safe haven.
It is. No, it's not.
Things up. Mm-hmm. He's changing things up right now. That's why he said he's going to bring people in to catch fire. He ain't bringing in people to smoke, but to catch fire. So, just like on
catch
How
fire,
High,
right?
Yeah. It's going to be like the Ivory. You know what I'm saying? Ivory caught fire, fell out that window, and he get hit by a bus. Same thing.
That's funny.
It's a sad situation, though.
It is.
Yeah.
But the thing is this: it's a sad situation, but it's a very common situation.
It is.
At the end of the day, it's how much, and it's so messed up because it's not every single church, but it's majority of the churches. How much money can I siphon out of my congregation? Because I was watching something. Oh man, I wish I remember what I was looking at the other day, but they were talking about a woman. She died. It was either a woman or her husband died. Been in the church for 20, 30 odd years, faithful in tithes, all of that stuff.
I can guess where it's going. Go ahead.
Yep.
They die, right? They wanted to use the church to have the ceremony, the funeral.
Wow.
They had to pay. They had to pay.
No.
They had to pay to use their church.
Wow.
And I forgot how it was. It was a couple grand. It was
it's
couple
like paying
of grand
for insurance and never getting to claim on your money.
Well, on top of that, there's also situations where they will. I saw this as well. This particular church went back to look at the tithing history of the woman of this woman. So this woman's son was like, "Yeah, she paid tithes." Well, she didn't pay enough. She didn't have a good history, and they would not allow her to use the church for her.
She didn't pay her premium.
That's why
you
people
can't
are so disgusted by a lot of these churches. I heard a woman on the radio this morning, like, I think it's a good thing because then I get to high and go praise the Lord. I get to get high and go praise the Lord. I'm like, oh, how far we have fallen.
Oh, it makes so much sense because you have to be high to be in tune with the Most High.
But
right?
You know what? And I hate to turn. I'm not going to turn this into a religious conversation. But when you do research on ancient history, cultures like the Mayans, one thing they did to get in contact with the gods were what? Get high. They use certain drugs. Yes. So we see those same paganistic rituals creeping into today's Christian church. Well, they've already crept in. The point is like what Tasha said. The young people are seeing this. And Darash, you made this point too. They're leaving. They're saying something's not right with these situations. They're not right.
Yes.
So when we start seeing all this stuff, it's just more people that's going to fade out.
And they're just trying to find a way to get the young people back. So you got church where they twerking in church and they twerking for Jesus. I saw an actual video of twerking for Jesus.
You mean drop it low for Jesus?
Drop it low for Jesus.
Drop it low for Jesus. I couldn't believe that.
What it say? Throw that thing in a prayer circle, bro.
Ridiculous.
That's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's
drop it low for Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness,
egregious.
This is what I'm trying to process this, right? Because we're talking about this particular incident, but this particular incident is one of many crazy incidents that happen in the church.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out at what point do we see the younger ones, they're like, you know what, we're leaving, right?
Mhm.
At what point do we say, you know what, how about we just start holding these people, if we really believe what it is that they're trying to give us, as far as, you know, the Bible and understanding all of that, at what point do we just start holding them accountable and say, nah, this is not okay?
And why would they do that?
You got to stop that.
Wait, at what point does who hold them accountable? Who are we
The
referring to?
members, the
The
congregants.
Oh, no, because
Really?
listen,
The elders, that works, yeah.
well,
Because they don't want to be held
authority.
accountable. If you hold
Yeah.
the authority accountable, they got to be held
But
accountable.
those are the
yeah,
ones
they're,
that we was
they're
watching.
guilty by association. They're part of the whole plan.
And
True.
they were the ones who set the standard. They were the ones we were watching all the years throughout the church do all kind of stuff behind the scenes and all the hypocrisy. So why would they stand up for it when they all do the same thing?
Yeah, that's the way it
That's
works. So listen,
That's
we've
right.
come to the end of our second segment. Oh, the pastor selling
That was a
dope in the
good one.
church, right?
Throw that thing in
Hey,
a prayer
I want to
circle.
leave this segment with one. Hey, all you pastors, especially you, Jamal Bryan, I hope you see this podcast. 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root to all evil. Let it go, brother. Let it go. We are going to our third segment. All right. Prime time. Deion Sanders. Prime
man.
time. Listen, hey, look, Rick, I want you to start this segment off. What are your thoughts on Deion? What are your thoughts on Deion Sanders? Should he have stayed at Jackson State University, or should he have gone on to Colorado? What do you think?
And before I dive on into it, me
Speak
first
carefully.
say,
You know,
Deion was
you're
my
already on the
dude.
cancel culture borderline there. So
Tread lightly, Rick.
Deion was my dude. Like, I mean, I want to be just like, you know, and the bandanas, the gloves, everything about him was just, he brought swag into football. So for one
Yeah.
thing, I loved Deion as a kid. I wanted to be just like him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, that's the dude. Even though he didn't play for my team, but I loved how he carried himself. So I was like, hey, I like how Deion does his thing. But what I want to touch on is he should have stayed. Like, and what I mean is not just to take that pay cut, because I understand, going to, improve your financial situation. 100%. As a matter of fact, we should all be trying to do that as a people. But when I say he should have stayed, which also the Black community could have helped him out, he should have stayed because he had an opportunity to completely change the landscape of college football, to change the landscape of the culture, to really show people that we don't have to go to the white schools to get excellence, you know what I'm saying, to be at the pinnacle, because that's kind of how we look at it. And Boyce Watkins made an interesting point the other day when he said, we say that we have to become the greatest by, assimilating to their schools when nobody else says that. Other cultures don't say we got to go to the black community to receive this. So me personally, I think that he could have brought greatness there. And I think, of course, our people should have supported him more and maybe want to put more money in his pocket. So it would have been tougher for, them to throw a high number at him to get him to leave.
I have a question
that's
for
what
you.
I'll start off with.
Okay, I have a question for
let's
you.
go.
So our last podcast with Rory K. Douglas, if you guys have not seen that, so much financial advice and nuggets were dropped. If you missed it, go back and watch it. Now, bringing that up, that is now the lowest watch show that we have. Now, but the show before that, when it was Dr. Umar Johnson, not just because it was Dr. Umar Johnson, but because people, they were looking for something controversial. They know y'all know how Umar get. He ain't gonna bite his tongue. He gonna tell you what he think. And people looking for, it's more entertainment for them, right? So people feel like, well, Rory K. Douglas is not that entertaining, right? But he is a big name. He millions of views. He teaches financial literacy, all type of stuff. Things that are going to change your life-changing information. We actually have appointments. We have things set up that are going to, so we're trying to take advantage of the information that, we know of. The reason I bring that up, you stated that Deion should have stayed based off, and anyone can answer this question, based off, the community. Do you not agree that we are probably one of the few communities who don't support, who don't want the information? We say we want the information. We say we want to improve our lifestyles. We say we want to do all these different things, but when it comes down to it, how often do we really do it? Before you answer, I remember a guy by the name of, Colin Kaepernick, who quote unquote technically stayed, who kneeled, who gave up his career. And if I remember correctly, it's like $72 million he lost, right? For what? The community. where was that community? And all he was saying was, stop. Let's boycott the NFL. How many, let me see the hands of everybody who actually stopped buying Sunday tickets. No, this same community. So when Deion says I have to go and I'm going to advance, because I know this is the same community that if I stop and give up my dreams, you know, they're not going to support me when something goes wrong. He gave 2 or 3 national championships to this school, right? He couldn't win the BC. He couldn't win a championship on a D1 level. You have to go to that level to do it. Why can he not? Why is it so wrong that he wants to build his legacy and win a championship on each level and become that coach, all-time winningest coach, best recruiting coach? I have to be the face for you, but when it comes down to it, you're not going to support me. And we see this time and time again. So why is it fair?
A lot of people finna cancel you.
Yeah, and why is it only
A lot
on
of
his
people finna
shoulders?
cancel you, Abiyah.
They make him a savior.
Listen, cancel me. Listen, I'm good. We're going to be good. My pocket's all right. But listen, you better the truth. Even if you disagree, better the truth than me sitting here sugarcoating it for you. But when you stop and look at it and look at our community as a whole, how often do we stand up for one another? Like I said, the first time I ever seen the community we come together a little bit was with Kyrie and Kanye, but still, that wasn't nowhere near enough.
And that's
The
my
question
problem.
is,
Well, here's what we do. We actually pull a Houdini. Like whenever came time to back up Colin Kaepernick, we actually bibbity bobbity boo disappeared. None of us was there to really stand up for him. I mean, we left him out to dry. It was a modern day lynching. That's what
it really was.
I mean, and there's kind of the same thing was going on. We watching it going on with Kyrie. Only reason we stood up a little bit, and I say a little bit, I only think we stood up. We got off the ground and got on all fours. You know what I'm saying? Only reason we made any motion is because they pushed it too far, where we had to be like, dang, this is a little bit much. You know, we should back each other up on a much higher level. We actually don't do nothing for each other. Like, because you say one of the few communities to back each other up, we in last place. If we had a race with us and 30 other races of people with nations, we're in last. We don't back up each other.
Exactly.
We don't help each other out. We just stand back and sit back. And that's why I said, I do think initially the Black community failed Deion as far as trying to get more money poured into them schools so his contract could be higher, because there's no way that he should have been able to be offered up to 12 times his salary, 10, 12 times his salary.
You know what? And not even that. Not only that, he had $300,000 salary. Half of that went back to the school. He gave half of that back.
He reinvested it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's another reason
question.
why I believe he should have stayed, because if he was able to give half his salary, it really wasn't about the money. He's able to sustain himself. He's good on that. I think if he had a chance, like I said, to make major waves, because he was already getting 5-star recruits. If you can start getting 5-star recruits at a small school like that, imagine how much he was going to, I won't say damage the rest of it, but he's going to show that these smaller schools are going to be able to start competing with you. And I think it's going to be something that's going to be great for us. But I do agree, the community don't support them.
Even more than that, at what point do we say, and this is how I personally look at it, right?
Sorry, ladies, this thing is about sports, and we just kind of, hey, ladies, get in after this. We're just jumping in there.
But I look at it like this. At what point do we say, this is Deion Sanders, this is the decision that he made because he felt it would be best for his legacy?
Exactly.
Everyone's talking about, but he said he would do this, he said he would do that. Oh, but you'll never get another prime. Yes, this is true. But more than just putting half of his salary into the school, he got so many people to invest in the school themselves, from Walmart to what did they say? They said the only other team that got more jerseys than Jackson State this year was Oregon. And we all know, because Oregon is Nike town. And so Oregon always has brand new jerseys. Jackson State is right behind them, right? And he had a number of sponsors come in and sponsor this school, right? So he did a
even
lot
ESPN.
for Jackson State.
Man, he had them on College game day.
But that's my point, right? In his mind, you can't be mad at a man for working on his legacy, because his job is not to please everyone else.
Right.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Let's let one of the ladies get in here, because we get passionate.
You knew this was gonna get heated.
See, I agree with the points, with both of the points, because I understand both sides. He is a man. And as a man, you want to be able to provide for your family. And I understand he probably has a certain amount of wealth, but he's still putting forward a lot of effort. So you do want to see that come back into your household in some way, shape, or form. But my question is, how long should this man have to continue to sacrifice for the community? Because He sacrificed his time. He contributed not only in terms of physically being present and the wins, but mentally he built up those men. He taught them a lot of life lessons, and he was there even for them through that traumatic time when they're looking at Black rapper who has been, by all accounts, I'm not in the streets, I've been a good man. They look at him being murdered. He was able to take that and turn that into a learning opportunity for them, even on how to maneuver when they played within that city. Because he said, okay, we're going into the city or we're going into the state. I want you to know you're not going to leave this room because tensions are too high within the city. And you have to learn that even though you are from a certain environment, it doesn't mean that you have to go back to that environment as you're trying to elevate as a man and grow as a man.
Right.
So
Facts.
I think that those were big points. But the thing about it is, I think Rory said it best, like you make changes from within, or someone said it best. No, it was Coach Larry Wade. He said it best. You make the changes from within the institution.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want representation at these schools, we want to show that a Black male coach, because let's be honest, the way they see football, and people wonder why we're not represented, we don't have the representation as male coaches in football or the NFL, they consider this like a chess game. And how they see it is you are not smart enough to compete with, let's be honest,
with your white counterparts.
Male.
And that's true.
Exactly.
Let me ask you
So,
this. Let me ask you something really quickly based off before we go too far past that. That is a very good point, because we always getting upset that the Black man didn't get the job, right? Oh, they passed over on the brother, right? Not the brother got the job, but no, you should have stayed right here and not gone anywhere else and been loyal to us, who, when it's all said and done, have a history of not being loyal to ourselves. So my point is, and I wanted to try and get Tierra here as well. My point is, like you just said, Tasha, how long do we do this? How is this? How is this fair to Dion? Why does Dion not to get an opportunity to make up his mind and do what he want to do? Right. Let me let Tierra get in here. And brothers, I know y'all ready to we all out, but let's go ahead, Tierra. Let's let her get in real quick, and then we'll
feel like it's selective outrage. Some people are never happy, and they're never appeased. And somebody made a good point where they were talking about, well, he was saving HBCUs and changing how people see HBCUs. Why is that only his responsibility? Why is that only up to him? And somebody made a really good point when they said, how many of you who are crying and complaining have donated to an HBCU?
Charlamagne said that.
There's a lot of the money that's missing. Where is all of this support coming from? But y'all are the same one that are mad because he's leaving. It doesn't make sense. You don't support, but then you're upset when he goes to an opportunity that's best for him. Where is the regard for him?
And that was my question I didn't get to for Tasha and Tierra and for everybody on the panel. How many of these people do you think, as Tierra just pointed out, supported or donated to HB? It's almost like the people who say support the troops. No. They never donate or do anything for the troops. It's just something they say, right? But those people who have children who are college or high school athletes, where do you think they're sending their child? Alabama, Miami, Texas, USC, but Dion should have stayed though. Why didn't you send your
not Jackson State?
No, not Jackson State. Any of those?
Not Grambling.
They're not Grambling. And how often did they, like Tierra said, donate there or send their children there or tell their child, hey, it's okay to go to these schools? No, now that Dion's there, you're doing what you're accusing Dion of doing. You're chasing the face or a higher status level because Dion's there. Right. Well, why Dion can't do the same thing and go to Colorado? Go ahead. Yeah, chasing the name.
Hey, and I did want to make a point when you say, as far as his choice, I don't fault him for his choice. Actually, you make that choice for yourself. Cool. I just don't use the whole, God sent me here and, this is bigger than football. And then all of a sudden, when it comes down to, personal choice or, for yourself or for the culture, you choose yourself. If you choose yourself, cool. Just don't say, when people say what's wrong with him bettering himself, you're actually answering your own question. He's bettering himself.
I saw a parody.
The culture.
No,
I saw a parody that stated that that when Dion was saying, I don't know, y'all may have seen this. Yeah, he said, I don't know if y'all. The parody was talking about Dion talking to the players, and he said, "You guys know if a NFL contract was offered to you, y'all leave me high and dry." And it was funny because it was true. How many players would have up and gone, especially from Jackson State? Hey, come on over here to the NFL. You know good and well they're gonna get up and go. So why is it so wrong for him to continue to go on? Go ahead, Tasha.
Right. And then I wanted to say, we already know it's not about the money. Like, I think we keep harping on, oh, he's bettering himself. No, he's bettering the community. It's about representation. It's about showing that on a bigger stage, on a bigger field with more experienced college coaches, I can face off and win.
Exactly.
Because I'm intelligent enough to win. And that's why he's talking about it being about representation, because we need to show we can compete. That way, they will allow more Black coaches to advance to head coach in the NFL and et cetera. Representation.
Right. So if Deion gets there, go ahead, Darash.
I was going to say, and so you got to remember too, in the conversation that he had with his athletes right before their final game, he said, I want y'all to hear it from me first. Yes. In this game, you are either elevated or terminated. So the point that he was making, remember, we asked Coach Larry Wade that. He said that's absolutely true. You're not going to be in one spot too long, right? Because the moment I think it was him I forgot who was talking about it. They were talking about like Nick Saban, right? Now, granted, Nick Saban is a white counterpart, right? The moment Nick Saban has been dominating at Alabama, dominating. And now he's had a couple of seasons that were still really great, really good. It's not like I don't think he's ever had a losing season ever. He might not have even lost more than 2 games in a season, but because it's not to the standard that they wanted to have anymore, now all of a sudden he's under fire. So the point was, as a coach, you can do everything right. And then, they'll give you praise for a minute. Then it's going to be kind of like, okay, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Then the moment that you have a slip up, and it can be a minor one, after all of the work that you put in, they will still terminate you. That's the point
though, Darash, it's not even a slip up. This man is still in the position to go to the national championship. He's won more championships to my understanding, he's won more championships than any other coach. He had more winning seasons. He's going down as the all-time greatest coach ever. So, the point is, that's what Deion was saying. If I don't put myself in these positions, then guess what? They will get rid of me as soon as I start to slip up. But really quickly, I'm gonna give it to you, Tierra. What happens and what do we say? And we at the end of the segment, but what happens and what do we say when Deion goes to Colorado, take a team that's 1-11, turns them around to 10-2 or 11-1 or whatever with the bowl game, and then wins the championship, then starts getting 5-star recruits coming in there? What happens now at that point? If he can accomplish that on this level, now are we talking about, oh man, another great coach, but what a great Black coach at this point on a bigger level. We had Eddie Robinson at Grambling, right? But that was but now we're talking about a Black coach on a bigger level, showing that, hey, stop passing over us. We can do this as well. Tierra, go ahead. And then
everything you just said sound like French to me, but yeah, I think I got you. So basically what y'all saying is, it's like, remember the Titans. Remember, he was winning all them games and he was hitting it super hard. And then they came back and said, if you lose one game, you're done. It's like they can't afford to make any mistakes. I don't know if you remember the Titans. Okay.
Yep, I remember. It. Yeah, that was my movie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a favorite. Yeah.
I was going to say, Abiyah, before we move over to the next segment, one thing you missed was when he got to Colorado, you know how many 5-stars decommitted from places like Alabama to go to get put into the portal? They said Deion Sanders had over 200 athletes DMing him trying to get into Colorado on the team.
No, I didn't miss that. I said that. What happens when he starts getting all these people and turning the program around? That's a part of it. No, and that's going to happen.
Because you were talking about next year. This year, he already got it going on. That 5-star is coming in.
Oh, wow.
Well, this year's over. Portals on. Yeah, this year's over. They have to go to next year. That's going to be next year. So if they come in right now, it's going to happen next year.
Next year, right.
They make it where you can play right away now. The transfer portal, certain players, so they let it happen now.
Season's over. Wow. Colorado's 1-11. They don't have a bowl game. It's over. They can't play against
next year. I mean next year.
So those players coming in this year won't play until next year. Now, let's say there was mid-season or a bowl game coming up. That's different. But that's the point. Colorado was so bad. Their quarterback only passed for like 470 yards in the whole season, which is horrendous.
The whole season.
And then they only won one game. Yeah, as soon as he just transferred away. They won one game the entire season. So they have no postseason whatsoever. So those players who are coming in, they're playing next year. And so my point is, what happens when he turns this thing around? Now we're looking at, oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow. But that is the end of this segment.
30 videos.
Right. That is the end of this segment. And we are moving on to the next Clown of the Week. Now, let me give some history behind this Clown of the Week. All right. I know Darash and Rick, y'all know. Tasha, you especially. Tiara is probably the only one that don't know. But she always be lost in the wind, though. So I'm just playing. So
No, he's not.
So here's the clown of the week. When I first started Inside the Nation, real quick history lesson, right? Inside the Nation Radio about 5, maybe 6 years ago. We had a different type of podcast back then. We're kind of revamping it right now. I started back then, and I started off my very first episode with a segment called Clown of the Week. So I gave a particular group of brothers the Clown of the Week. It was not appreciated all over the community, right? The black community, right? And it caused a lot of stuff. So I said, all right, I don't really want to cause trouble like that. So I kind of pulled back. But the emergence of a particular individual has caused me, let me turn the clock on, this last segment. He has caused me to bring back and reintroduce the Clown of the Week. And before I tell you who this guy is, again, I took it away, I brought it back, but it is needed. We had to bring this segment back. And I'm going to play this. You guys give me a second. Tell me what you think about what's being said. And a lot of those people talking about Dion, oh, he left behind. Oh, the black community, he should have did more. They actually support, this guy right here that we're about to see. Check this out.
And nigga, slavery ain't done me bad. So, nigga, what my grandmama and them went through ain't done a motherfucking thing to me. I don't give a fuck about what slaves went through, nigga. I ain't never been hit across the back for nothing. You got to know your past and know where you're going. I don't give a damn about my past. How you know where you're going? I care about today. So how you know where you're going? Nigga, I don't give a damn. You don't even know the infrastructure that you're living in. I don't give a man. You talking about the law. You don't know who made it, where they come. I ain't up about where I'm going. I'm up about what I want to do. Oh, with me. Talking about that. Is that a Confederate hat he won? Yeah. What the hell you talking about? This is heritage. My granddaddy's, Pappy's daddy's and his brother fought as a Confederate soldier. Then my mama's daddy, which is my granddaddy, Freddie White, fought in the Air Force. What you talking about? Uncle Joe went? Yeah, nigga,
With that being said, a lot of those people who are riding Deion Sanders' head for going to Colorado are big Charleston White fans. What do you have to say about that? Darash, what you got to say about that? Like, what do you think about what was said about, and he's wearing a Confederate cap and scarf and everything else. He's telling you how he truly feels. What do you think?
Now, why you go to me first?
I felt you. I'm giving Rick a second because I know Rick gonna blow.
Okay, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Man, look, Charleston, and it's so crazy because we kind of look at Candace Owens the same way. What do I mean by that? It's hit and miss. It's hit and it's miss.
But that was a bit far, though. Really far. Candace Owens would not go that far.
No, not at all. You're right. But what I'm saying is sometimes he makes really good points. And then sometimes it's like, do you hear what you're saying? Like, are you cognizant of the words that are projecting from your mouth? Because sometimes what he's saying is what a lot of our white counterparts say. You need to get over slavery, not understanding, or it doesn't affect me, not understanding that this whole system, not just the nation, but the system, the way that the system was set up, where the socioeconomic system is set up the way that it is because of slavery. We are disenfranchised because of slavery. Redlining was only able to happen because of slavery. The mindset of our people, which Dr. Umar Johnson was talking about, is because of slavery. Single parent households, because of slavery. Those same people that Charleston White talked about, the King Vons, the Mo Threes, the Nipsey Hussles when he was in his game, because of slavery. This was the mindset that we were conditioned to believe in. So for him to say, yeah, you didn't have no whips put on your back, you're absolutely right. But it is still the way that we are today is a product of slavery. So what do you mean?
Charleston
it doesn't
White
matter. Forget about it all. That what?
He has a whip on his brain. Tasha, what do you think about this dude? Like something, the shackles or something is still on his brain, because we know the shackles are more than physical now. They're actually mental. What's your thoughts, Tasha?
I think that he is playing the game.
Yep.
He is shock jocking it to shake us awake because he understands that we only resonate with drama.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say this is because, you're going to catch those tidbits here and there where he's like, oh, he's on point. He's saying something here.
Mm-hmm.
That's always him. He's always saying something.
Always.
But what he mentioned, because it was a recent Clubhouse that he held, and I'm not on Clubhouse, but somebody, you know how they do, they record it and they put it on YouTube. So I'm listening. And one of the things he says is that he's like, you women don't understand when I'm speaking, even though I'm vulgar, speaking to all women, a real woman would not be listening to me. She would not be able to even tolerate my mouth or my language. I am talking to B's and H's. A woman, a respectable woman, stays in a respectable woman's place. My wife is not on here. My grandma ain't on here. My mama ain't on here because they're respectable women, which is why I'm speaking the way that I'm speaking, because I'm speaking to women who do not have respect.
Now let me tell you something real quick. And I'm gonna give it right back to you. Actually, you go ahead and finish your point because I want to really touch on that. Go ahead.
He said a woman who has respect would not be in here arguing with a man. She would be running her household instead of running a clubhouse room.
Mm-hmm.
Is your house clean? Is your bed made before you're on here arguing with men on Clubhouse? The discussion is not for you, which is why I come at you that way, because any woman who respects herself would not be on here.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Now, and I'm going to get Rick and Tiara's thoughts after this. Here's the thing with Charleston White. It's the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen, ever heard speak, right? And I'm going to say why I believe that. Now, you're a hypocrite, you know, and the reason you're a hypocrite is because he did say all those things about a respectable woman and things. But have you seen the video of the way he was talking to and treating his own wife?
You better shut up, then. You know I'm on fly. You better shut your motherfucking ass up. You get embarrassed in this motherfucker. You keep talking. You go get embarrassed in this motherfucker. What's up with it, soul? You all right? Already? Yeah, motherfucker talking crazy, man. You know you can't talk crazy to me in public. You see I'm on live, well, shut up talking to me then. Shut your motherfucking ass talk. You got and the white boy you. This shit wrong with you. You know that white boy you. Don't get mad. That white boy did you. That white boy over you. You know that, baby. Stop acting like he gave you a deal. You know that white boy over you. And long as you keep talking back, you get your motherfucking ass embarrassed here.
You say the way you speak is only for B's and hoes, right? Is your wife a B or a hoe? Because the way you treated and disrespected that woman in front of all of those people and told her, you should have known how I was going to get down. Come in here and run your mouth if you want. Y'all ain't it. I should have had that clip as well.
I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is why I like when Umar was on here, we were talking to him. He was like, certain people, this is who we give the attention to, right? Again, we just brought Rory K. Douglas on the show. This man dropped so many nuggets. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me call Charleston White. Hey man, come on the show. Different response, you know.
Right.
With the Umar Johnson show, I mean, of course, a lot of people knew who was going to drop knowledge, but there was a lot of people also who was looking for the dramatic aspect of it, the drama. That's what we look for, and so he knows that. Trust you me, Charleston White is no dummy. He's no dummy. He knows that that's what is going to get his views up. That's what's going to get him paid. That's what's going to get him his interviews. So he's going to say these things to make it seem like, well, I'm just talking about these women, the B's and hoes. But yeah, so you telling me your wife a hoe is what you just told me. Your wife's a hoe. Am I calling your wife? I'm not calling your wife a hoe, but you, according to your logic, your wife is being a B or a hoe, right? And with that being said, you're riding in the car. We can't say the word, talking about, grapes about graping women.
Oh,
right. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you do consider her a B or a hoe. How dare you open your mouth talking about you think that some women deserve to be graped? You a hypocrite.
Forced. Wow.
Forced. Better word. How are you talking about it's okay? You think it's okay to be? He knows what to say. You know why? Because a lot of people are going to run and listen. And even if they don't like him, here's what you got to stop doing. If you don't like them, and I'm talking to myself as well, all of us, if we don't like him, what we got to stop doing? Stop listening to him. Mm-hmm. Stop. This man is saying things. He's disrespecting the dead. He's disrespecting the women. He's disrespecting the men. Then on another day, He's talking very good points about men, very good points about women, very good points about all these things. So it just kind of depends on what he needs to say at the time. Tiara, what are your thoughts?
Is he mentally challenged, maybe? Because I don't understand. Every video I see of him, I just stop watching because he really triggers me. And it take a lot to trigger me when I don't know you. But what's frustrating to me is, one, what you're saying and putting out there is irresponsible, because the wrong people hear that. It creates an even bigger issue, because my thing is, how can you not see the effects of slavery? Like, how can you not see that everything that has happened is still affecting our people today? And it's even affecting your life, to where you even have to have some of the conversations that you're having, to where you're even having to address the B's and the H's, and the way that they carry themselves today all stems from slavery and what's been done to our people. But what irritates me about his kind is they skip over all of that. They skip over the causes and the effects, and they go right to, well, it's not affecting me as of right this moment. I wasn't the one getting beat, so it doesn't bother me. Our community is in shambles because of what's happened to us. I don't like him.
Yeah, they skip. They look at the what in the when, but they always skip the why it's here. What are your thoughts, Rick?
Yeah, to me, it just kind of don't make sense. A lot of the points Darash said, I would hit on exactly that. He said exactly what I was thinking. But the biggest thing I noticed is one of his recent interviews I've seen when he's talking about, he said, Black people are the spoils of war. So what is challenging to that is, if you say we're the spoils of war, and then you say slavery didn't happen to me and I don't have any whips on my back, when you're calling us the spoils of war, you're literally saying we're a conquered people. If we're a conquered people, then obviously slavery and being, taken over into another land is not ours. It's going to affect us. So it kind of goes back as I think Ahavah said it, and Natasha said it. Being a shock jock. He's just saying stuff that sounds good, and just to get everybody's attention, to get clicks and likes, and there you go. Now your name's bigger. You put more money in your pocket. So I mean, to me at this point, it kind of looks like you saying stuff on the opposite end of the spectrum just to get clout.
Right. And I remember when I was in high school, when I finally got kicked out of high school, but I got my head on. I got it together after a while, right? So I was in the classroom and I was having a conversation with, another young brother. We sitting there talking back and forth. His whole thing was, all women are, calls them out their names. I'm like, I don't agree with that. Not all. I agree with the fact that a lot, because we see it, man, and it's a lot, but I wouldn't say all. No, all of them. I'm like, I wouldn't say all of them, because, we're going back and forth on this topic. And me, I take it to where it hurts. I ask him, so you saying your mother is, you
went to the extreme, you punched him in the gut.
Is your mama hoe?
I put him in the corner like, don't you call mama. No, brother. I'm not calling your mother, or you are. I'm trying to show you that when you say all and encompass everybody by the thoughts or the thoughts that you have for some, you're calling her a hoe. I'm trying to show you that you shouldn't, because you're including your mother, and you should not do that. He gets mad. He don't see the point. There's no logic in what I'm saying. We actually get into a big old fight. I won, but we get into a big old fight.
You had to put that in there.
I had to. And so I'm like, no, bro, that's not what I'm saying. But this is the same logic I'm talking about with Charleston White. If you're talking about you only talk to B's and hoes this way, there's literally videos on the internet of your wife, or either she's your girlfriend, but you said your wife, and you're doing her the exact same way as you do all of these other women. And it was disgusting how he did it. Like, I've been in, hey, listen, that's my wife right there. Not Rick, the one past her, him. Right, Tasha? We've had our arguments. No homo, right? We've had our arguments. But if you watch the Charleston White video, we never did and never will go there. That was horrible. So again, shock jock, whatever we calling them, he just knows what to say, when to say it, how to say it, to get you to watch. And for that reason, we are giving this dude the clown of the week. Charleston White, if you ever see this, hey, listen, man, you are the clown of the week right now, but you can redeem yourself, brother. You can remember, it was forgiveness that got you to change your mind, not the harshness. I believe in tough love, but it was forgiveness that got you to change your mind. If you don't know the story, he talks about it all the time. He hurt someone's child in the courtroom. They told him, I forgive you. And it did something to him. But this man doesn't believe in giving that same forgiveness to other people. He thinks everything has to be harsh. So either you are the biggest hypocrite of the week, or the clown of the week, the biggest hypocrite to ever live, or at some point, brother, you got to stop and say, I need to take a different approach, unless it's just all about money. We at the end of the segment. I'm going to let everybody get their closing words. We're going to get out of here. We're going to start with Tiara. Listen, man, tell the people where they can find you. Tell them your email, the mama's at home. Hey, she can cook, y'all. I told y'all this before. The girl can cook. I mean, just look at it, you know. Darash is a bona fide hater. We all know this. She can cook.
Absolutely.
So she can cook. But go ahead. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Absolutely. So I created a space for women who are passionate about homeschooling, homemaking, organization, recipes, all the things. You can find me at mamasathome.com, and you can find me at mamasathome_ on Instagram, and you can email me directly at tiara@insidethenationradio.com.
Guys, make sure you look her up. Darash, where can they find you? Coach Key.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, man, I'm still working on my YouTube channel specifically, but definitely check out my Instagram. Coach Key, I actually just switched it. Coach Key Health and Coach Key HF, which is health and fitness. And on this page, majority of it is going to be mainly physical fitness, but as I continue to build up my YouTube, you're going to get a lot more mental fitness, physical fitness, exercise and how it affects cognition, all of that, the science behind it all. Because we love the entertainment. We love to sit here and listen to these types of conversations, which is a beautiful thing. We stimulate our mind. But at the same time, we're very lax in America. We're very lax in physical fitness as well. We're really lax in that. So I'm trying to bring that to the forefront, and I'm trying to motivate and encourage people to do so. Definitely. And also give them the science behind all of that and the benefits.
Definitely. Make sure you look him up. And hey, he didn't put this in there. He learned from one of the best, Coach Larry Wade, who we also have an interview coming up with that brother who's another brother that drops a lot of jewels, a lot of nuggets. So Coach, professional boxing coach, track coach, motivational speaker, learns from the best. But Rick, tell the people, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me physically in the gym because I still like to work out a lot. So, you might find me there.
He still think he could dunk a little bit.
Abiyah and Darash buckets for next time I catch them out, in a city.
Get crossed up.
But like I said, you can find me on my Facebook, RickJudah Israel. Same thing. My Instagram, RickJudah Israel. TikTok, I try to keep the same RickJudah. You're gonna find that now on my YouTube channel. You're gonna find Talk That Truth Radio. So, and it's like I said, still got a few videos on there, but we're still make more. We're gonna do live shows, and I got a few pre-recordings coming out. So, it's still like I said, under construction, still going. Yeah, if you see, I ain't got an actual logo yet, but hey, we working on it. We getting it. It's under construction, so
it's all good. We building. Tasha, tell the people where they can. I know where to find you. I'm find you after the show, though. Hey, tell the people where they can find you. I'm joking.
Well, all right.
Tell the people where they can find you at.
Wait a minute.
A couple of things. I do want to give a shout out because some of you have already started to reach out. So to Talisha Jones, thank you. And Black Ink, I see that you guys have been sending us articles.
Definitely.
When we say we are interested in moving or purchasing a new home, please don't solicit. I see someone from Durham Home Search has sent me something to this email address. So I just want to say that. Stop.
Hey, man, we already got the house, man. It's already, the money's put down and everything. Relax.
So where you can reach me, again, Tasha at InsideTheNationRadio.com. Feel free if you feel like there's a topic you would like to hit or suggest, you can also send it there. But I will be doing taxes this upcoming tax season. If you want to reserve your spot, please do me a favor and go ahead and send just something saying, okay, I'm interested in having my taxes done. We'll sort out the rest later. Something quick and simple so I can get you in line and in place to make sure that you get your taxes done with me. Also, you can reach me on Twitter. Now I'm on Twitter. Yay. At Tasha_
Tierra's affected her.
TN. So I again, like Igloo, S like Sam, T like Tom, N like Nancy, Inside the Nation. Ready. You'll see it. Feel free to hit me there. Follow me. We can have direct conversation.
Right.
Appreciate you all.
I said affected. I should have said infected. She's infected her with the Twitter bug. Oh man! And what she didn't say as
she
well.
gonna get her clients up on Twitter.
Hey, yeah, for real.
Twitter's awesome. It's interesting.
Hey, what she didn't say as well is the fact that you're not just getting your taxes done; you're getting life-changing information. Stop utilizing your tax money, that $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever you're getting back, going straight to Walmart or Best Buy and buying the big screen TV. They know you're coming. Tax year, the first thing they do is start putting the sales on and rolling TV. Remember, they had when Biden finally sent out, or Trump sent out that $500 stimulus check. Walmart wrote all the TVs for $4.99 to the front of the store. They say, yeah, the black people are coming, and that's where everybody ran and bought those TVs. Listen, take that money this tax season. Take that money. We're going to show you how to put it into place where you don't have to worry about the rest of the year. It's going to work for you. It's going to bring you more money. And by the time you get your next one, it's going to do the same thing. Life-changing information. And it's not something that, oh, well, they just sent it. Remember how people ask the question, well, did you ever do it? Yes. And we did it well. So make sure you, hit her up. Hit her up. But we're at the end of our show. You guys, definitely thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. This is Inside the Nation Radio, the podcast. And with that, we are out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining Inside the Nation Radio, your go-to for the latest happenings and the best discussions. Be sure to tune in next time. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Goodbye.